Now part of the Darkcast Network. Welcome to Indie Podcasts with a Dark Side. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Love and Murder, the weekly true crime podcast discussing relationships gone terribly wrong, where our motto is, you're either someone's last love or their first murder. I'm your host, Kai, and in today's episode, we're discussing a case about a dentist who fatally poisoned his wife so that he can start a new relationship. Before we begin, I want to say that this episode is sponsored by My Lambs and Patreon. As you well know, I want to thank you so much for everything you've done. And at the beginning of the year, we are giving out some prizes. Be sure to subscribe to Love and Murder right now while you're listening so you don't miss a case. And if you didn't know, you can also subscribe on our Patreon so you don't have to hear our intros or commercials, and you'll be a sponsor of Love and Murder. As you well know, I am still on break for the month of December, so this episode is a Kai Rants. So grab your butts, grab your apple juice, and let's get into some Love and Murder. So this is about Angela Craig and James Craig, who were married in 1999 and lived in the Denver, Colorado area. Angela was a choir director and a family history consultant, and James was a dentist. They had 6 children: Tolliver, Mira, Annabelle, Cleo, Nora, and Violet. James, as a dentist, popular dentist might I add, handed out fresh-baked cookies to his patients rather than the normal lollipop. Either way, here's some more sugar so you can come back and see me. Angela was described by everyone who knew her as a kind person who brightened the room she walked into. She was vibrant and quick-witted and found ways to cheer up her friends and make hard times easier for everyone. For instance, when her friend Jennifer Davis was in the hospital in July 2022, Angela stopped by and, quote, "She brought me some crayons, markers, and some coloring books and this teeny bopper book. She was always there for you. She was a beacon of light when you were having a dark day." So basically, Jennifer says this is the last memory she has of Angela and that she'll treasure this till the day she dies. On March 15th, 2023, Angela, who was 43 at the time, was admitted to the hospital at University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus near her home in Aurora, Colorado. She was admitted because she had suffered a seizure and was placed on life support and then pronounced dead on March 18th. On March 19th, police arrested James Craig, her husband, who was 45 at the time, on charges of first-degree murder and charges of tampering with physical evidence. Authorities allege that James had poisoned Angela's smoothies. Why, you might ask? Well, because money, you know. Why else would you do such a thing? $3 million in money, to be exact, because he had taken out a $3 million insurance policy on her. And, you know this is Love and Murder, he had an alleged love affair with a Texas orthodontist he had met at a Las Vegas convention in 2023. So basically, this is like March of 2023 when he killed her. So 2023 had just started. So he met some woman between January and March and was so enamored with her that he said, hey, I'm going to kill my wife of 24 years? 24 years with my 6 kids? I'm going to go ahead and just off her, get with this woman I barely know. Because, you know, people could put on a mask and pretend to be somebody else for 3 months. That's why it says you need to wait. When you get into relationships with someone, you need to wait a while, maybe 6 months to a year, to basically find out who this person actually is. Because they could fake who they are. They could put their best foot forward for 3 months. Most people, unless you're a psychopath, most people cannot hold that charade for a year. But you know, 3 months, 24 years. Psh. Now, on the outside, everyone thought they were a happy couple, I guess until this, of course. But according to a probable cause affidavit filed by the police when James was arrested, Angela alleged to her sister, Toni Kofed, that James was obsessed with pornography and had multiple affairs. So he was cheating on her throughout the entire marriage. She also told her sister that she thinks James had tried to drug her years ago. And when she confronted him about it, he said, no. Well, what actually happened was I was going to die by suicide. And I knew that you weren't going to let me do it. So I drugged you so that you'll sleep through me trying to kill myself. And I would succeed and you wouldn't stop me. Now, why none of this happened? I mean, I thought about you and the kids. It was you and the kids that kept me going. But I mean, you had already been drugged, so there's nothing I could do there. I just waited for it to wear off. And I didn't move forward with it. Which to me, I'm no longer drinking, eating, or anything my husband gave me. I don't think I would leave him because I'd be like, okay, so he was trying to do this, so I'm going to try and get him some help. But I'm not touching any food he gave me after that. And honestly, I might sleep with two eyes open because suppose he did want to do this, but then his whole plan was to take us all with him. Like, I don't know. That's a tough one. Also, the business life was apparently in shambles. Angela had told her sister that James had recently lost more than $2,000 gambling in Las Vegas and had, quote, run the dental office into the ground. And basically, they were just going broke. His business partner, Ryan Redfern, told police that he got James's Summerbrook Dental Group in 2020. So basically, he bought it from him. Quote, Ryan described James as a risk taker and found out that he had filed for bankruptcy in 2021 and was on the verge of bankruptcy again. So basically, his business partner took over the business full time and found out that the business was losing money, that James had filed for bankruptcy the year before and 2 years before, and he was on the verge of filing bankruptcy again only 2 years later. Like, how many times can you file for bankruptcy? I mean, that's a rhetorical question. I know you could file for bankruptcy how many ever times, but dude, you're a dentist. You have your own dental practice. You have a wife. You have 6 children. Does the word financial literacy not mean anything to you? Investigators believe James started plotting Angela's murder on or before February 27, 2023. It's the beginning of the year. He literally just met that woman, so he had to have met her January, beginning February. Oh my God. And they thought this because they claim he ordered arsenic online and searched, oh my God. How many times we tell you this? If you're going to commit a crime, have as much evidence on you, around you, or that can be found on your computer or cell phone as possible, as well as tell everyone you know and everyone you don't. He searched online for, quote, how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human? And that's not all. Quote, is arsenic detectable in an autopsy? You might as well have searched, quote, how do I kill my wife, insert name here, and try to get away with it? Will this be detectable if I, what are you? You also should have searched, quote, how do I delete my search history? Not that it would have helped you, but it would have been funny. According to the affidavit, James got the arsenic at his house on March 4th, which was the day before Angela returned home from a visit to Utah. And in a March 6th text, Angela told James, quote, I feel drugs. So 2 days later, he tried to kill her. Allegedly. She texts him, I feel drugged. He allegedly responded, quote, oh my God, quote, given our history, I know that must be triggering. Just for the record, I didn't drug you. I am super worried though. You really looked pale before I left, like in your lips even. No, he didn't drug you. He poisoned you. So I guess he kind of just play on words. I guess he wasn't lying, really. He didn't drug you. He poisoned you. So she later went to the Parker Adventist Hospital complaining of dizziness and weakness. She got sick again and returned to the hospital on March 9th. That's where she stayed for 6 days. On March 9th, James was texting his friend about Angela's symptoms, and he said, quote, if it wasn't my wife, this would be kind of a fun puzzle to try and work out. Yeah, your wife's really sick, and, that's what you say. The next day, Angela went back to the hospital and had a seizure. That's when she was placed on life support and then died on March 18th. Her friends knew how healthy and well Angela initially was, so they were shocked about hearing that she died. Quote, there must be a reason. This is her friend Victoria. She's such a healthy soul. She keeps fit. She exercises. There's no way a life like that is gone for no reason. And then, of course, the next day, we saw what happened. Authorities allege that James also ordered cyanide on March 9th. So arsenic wasn't enough. Cyanide also. And had it delivered to his dental office. One of the co-workers saw it and reported it to a supervisor. And then the supervisor called police. One of his friends said, quote, "I see his mugshot and I about fell out of my chair. He was a nice, quiet, competent guy, total family man. If the allegations are true, it's a true Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde." The latest update that I see on this case was October 9th, and it looks like he pled not guilty in front of George Shea Whitaker, and apparently jury trial will run across 3 weeks in the spring of 2024, April 23rd to April 26th, April 29th to May 3rd, and then May 7th. During the investigation and the search of his computer, police saw that he also searched for top 5 undetectable poisons that show no sign. Oh my God. Top 5 undetectable poisons that show no sign of foul play. Wow. Way to literally let people know you did it. They also found communications, including travel plans with a woman that was, quote, intimate in nature and contained sexually explicit conversations. During the hearing trial, a coroner testified that Angela's manner of death was homicide and the cause was poison exposure, namely acute cyanide and tetrahydrozoline poisoning. Other contributing factors were subacute arsenic poisoning. And the police did notice similarities between Angela's symptoms. Between Angela's symptoms and the effect of ingesting cyanide and arsenic. And they had looked at, what were the symptoms at the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. And based on everything everybody was telling and the doctors were telling them, it showed that it was, it had similarities. And then the coroner said, yeah, after the autopsy, this is what it is. I mean, if he hadn't have laid out a play-by-play on his computer, maybe they wouldn't have done this search. You basically have how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human? Is arsenic detectable in an autopsy? Top 5 undetectable poisons that will show no signs of foul play. Basically here, this is what I want you to look for when you do an autopsy. Also, let me mail the cyanide to my job, to my place of business, and let everybody know. So yeah, like I said, he pled not guilty. And he's still in jail, awaiting his trial, and his bond was set at $10 million. I will put this on the docket to keep checking up on it in 2024, but that is freaking crazy. Again, for a woman you met literally 3 months ago, and actually it was less than 3 months, and actually her name is Karen Kane, and she spoke with ABC News, and she said their connection was built on lies. So I'm pretty sure he was telling her that, hey, no, I'm not married, I'm single as a bird, I don't have any children, I have a thriving practice, I'm basically not in debt. No, I didn't search top 5 undetectable poisons that show no sign of foul play to murder my wife and be with you. Never would do that. I'm a good guy. Look at my face. Trust me. Craziness. What do you think about this one? And I will definitely update this in 2024. I guess they're doing the jury selections in early 2024 in the spring. So maybe it just won't be going to trial till the end of 2024. Not really sure, but I will try and keep up to date with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all the Kai rants I have for you today. I'll see you in the next rant. Bye.